Hey everybody, it is John the Comic Guy, and I just picked up a small record collection from Manahawkin, New Jersey, in the wild, and they were in laundry tubs, and the lady didn't let me take the laundry tub, so I just had to kind of stack them in my trunk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully take them out, neatly set them up in my garage so I can kind of flip through them with you watching me. I only ended up seeing a couple of them as I was stacking them in my trunk, so sit tight, let me take a picture and show you what the records look like sitting in my trunk, and then let's flip through the records together, shall we? Okay, everybody, so what I did is I just neatly stacked the records in my garage, and let's do a quick flip through. So far, what I've seen, at least you're going to see the first record I'm happy with, so let's flip through them, and then I'm going to pull them aside, and then you're going to kind of see how I sort them. So I'm going to ultimately, if they're like really oldies and I'm not going to listen to them, I'm going to put them in my either dollar bins, or I'm going to try to sell them as a lot. And then I'm going to pick out the records I'm going to keep for myself and the records that I'm going to ultimately sell, and they might be priced at $5 or sometimes $10. But let's see what I got through my flip here. So right off the bat, this Gene Simmons, I got to clean that up. I think that might be a little soda or something, but I'm absolutely going to keep that. Miles Davis, I'm going to keep that. This is Sha Na Na. You know, I'm not a big Sha Na Na fan. Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits, I think that may be something I look at closer. Okay, now this. With Shrink, Black Sabbath, that is looking pretty nice. Neil Sedaka, again, I'm not going to keep that. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I have a couple of copies of that, but I'm going to have to see if that's an upgrade. Debbie Boone, no. Robert Goulet, no. Bolero, no. Stardust, no. Peter, Paul, and Mary, this almost looks like a mono. I think this is a monophonic. What did I say? This may be an upgrade for me. Johnny Mathis, no. Peter, Paul, and Mary, again, I might have to check that out. Smothers Brothers, those comedians, I'm not sure. Neil Diamond, no. Actually has some Neil Diamond, but Tom Jones, no. Sammy Davis Jr., you know, and this is in Shrink. Sammy says, I don't know. I have to think about that. More Smothers Brothers. I think I might put the Smothers Brothers in my 3 for $10 bins. Robert Goulet. Again, a lot of the oldies I'm going to put in my dollar bins. John Denver Greatest Hits. I might have to check that out. Meatloaf. I have so many copies of this. I'll put this in my $5 bin. As you guys know, Meatloaf is really not a particularly rare album. The cover is great from Richard Corbin, but it's not particularly rare. How many millions of copies were pressed? Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra, I'm going to keep. Leo, I love the song. You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. I have a copy of this. I could see mine is in better condition, so I'm going to sell that one. Jay Giles Band, Historic Live Album. This is great. I actually have it. I'll just have to see. I'm going to sell that. Mine is in better copy. I actually have a signed copy, I think. Hit Explosion, K-Tel. I love K-Tel records. Do you? What do you guys think? Barry, sorry, no. Kenny, sorry, no. Drums for God. All right, I might have to check that out. Drums for God. All right. Barbara Mandrell, no. Robbie Dupree, I don't know. Steal Away. Oh, Steal Away. That is a great song. All right. I'm going to have to listen to that. Sir Jovia, no. Doug Kershaw, I don't know what this is. Doug Kershaw. I might have to give this a check. Segovia, another Segovia record. I'm going to put some of my sales over there. I'd say no. Rod Stewart, Night on the Town. I'm going to check. I think this may be an upgraded copy to what I have. So I'm going to have to look at that. Kool and the Gang. Joanna. Oh, yes. That is a great song. You guys 80s fans, I remember hearing Joanna on the radio so much, and when I used to work at Service Merchandise, I used to hear that all the time. H2O, that might be an upgrade for me. I have it. Sons of the Beaches. I don't know. I never heard of that, but it sounds kind of funny, Flashcard. But I'd say no to that. Carlos Montoya. Carlos Montoya. Julia, no. More Smothers Brothers, no. Robert Goulet, sorry Robbie. King and I, no. Chuck Mangione, Feels So Good, no. I actually have that already. Sedaka, no. Gary McFarlane, no. Ricky Lee Jones, no. Herb Alpert, I'm going to sell. Macho Man, I'm going to sell. Sammy, no. Choices, no. I actually have these already. Flip Wilson, that might be, I remember the Flip Wilson show. I might have to check this out. This is probably an upgrade for me, but I think I'm going to keep Flip. Richard Harris, I'm unfamiliar with this. The Sandpipers, no, that's actually in Shrink. Some loose records. This is Johnny Horton. Johnny Horton, all right, so it must have been maybe a double album. Bookends from Simon & Garfunkel I have. Samuel Burby, no. No. Supertramp, I have tons of copies of this, but I'll have to see if this might be an upgrade to one of them. Probably not, but I'll hold it back anyway. Tom Jones Live, no. Ten Commandments, no. Smothers Brothers again, no. Linda Ronstadt, I actually have this in better condition. Chad Mitchell Trio, no. Blues Brothers, no. Oak Ridge Boys, no. Duran Duran, I have this. I'm gonna have to see if I might keep a second copy or sell this one. That might go in my $10. I think that's Duran Duran's first album. Andy Williams, no. Soul Drums. I love drums. I love percussions. I might have to check that out. No. Two copies of that, huh? 2 copies. Somebody like that. Dionne Warwick, no. No. Ronnie Shankar, clearly he's playing on the sitar. No. Bette Midler, Thighs and Whispers, never heard of it, but no. Rick Wakeman, In Shrink. I'm going to have to say, I think I had a copy of this at one time. I might have sold it, but I'll put that aside for myself. No. Imus the Honky Nuts. Do you guys remember when he used to compete against Howard Stern? That ultimately didn't become much of a competition. I think Howard blew him away. Don Kershaw. Rick Wakeman. All right. I have some Rick Wakeman. I'll check that out. I'm obviously a big Yes fan. Belafonte, no. Johnny Mathis, no. Sammy Davis, no. Linda Ronstadt, no. Harry Belafonte, no. Gigi, no. No. Bonnie Tyler, no. Rick Wakeman, yes. Rick Wakeman, and this is sealed. This is sealed in wrap. I love it. Mitch Ryder and Detroit Wheels, no. I have this. Donna Summer. Miles Davis, heck yeah. More Imus in the Morning. Man, somebody really liked Imus, huh? Donovan, no to that. Duran Duran, I'm going to have to check to see if this is in any way an upgrade for me. Johnny Mathis. Dexy's Midnight Runners. Come On Eileen, right? Come on Eileen, yeah, that's the big song. That's funny. I might have to hold on to that. Jim Morrison, Music by the Doors, yes on that. Herb Alpert, Rise, no. And last but not least, the Boston Symphony Monto. All right, everybody, let me flip this around and have a little summary of what I see here. All right, so far it looks like I got a pretty good pick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the records that I put aside for myself to keep, or at least to see if it's an upgrade. I'll clean them, and then I'm going to have a summary video to show you guys what I decided to keep and why. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, so now that I went through all of the records in my garage, it was a pretty fun collection. So really the ones I'm keeping are either an upgrade. There were a couple that I actually used to have. I must have sold off when I sold some records off, but I'm going to take them again because they're in good shape. So here, let me start with this. The first is really my one and only upgrade. So I had a copy of this. This is an upgrade in both cover and record. Duran Duran 7N, a Ragged Tiger. If you're from the 80s listening area, you probably know these guys were enormous at one time. As Simon Le Bon once says, they wanted to conquer the world, and I guess in a lot of ways they did. More than one of my girlfriends had crushes on one of these guys. So I think Andy Taylor, the keyboardist, was certainly a crush that I remember one of my girlfriends having. But the next is new to me. John Denver's Greatest Hits #2. I'm not. I appreciate this guy. I think Krista is going to enjoy listening to his music more than I am. I think she always tells me her dad was a big John Denver fan, so it's like, what the heck? Let's listen to him. So, John Denver's Greatest Hits #2. I never had that. The next, I actually had a copy of this at one time. It was dirty. When I say dirtier than the content of the record, it was dirty, probably moldy. I sold it off. But Flip Wilson. The Devil Made Me Buy This Dress. I don't know if you saw Flip Wilson as a child. He had a Flip Wilson show. I think for his show, I heard he cleaned up his content significantly because I suspect the content on this vinyl record is going to be pretty racy. But I always thought he was funny. Kind of reminds me of my childhood, but then again, once I listen to this music, I think it's going to kind of take us right into adulthood. The next record, I don't know if I'm going to keep or not, but I want to listen to it. I've never seen this before. So, Doug Kirshen. If any of you guys are rolling your eyes saying you don't know who Doug Kirshen is, I don't. I probably heard of him. I probably, some of my friends probably mentioned him, but this looks cool. It's swamp grass, so I guess it's kind of going to be bluegrass. Looking forward to hearing that. I don't know who the guy is, and I want to give some music a shot. And the cover looks pretty cool. So, Doug Kirshen. I'm Kershaw. Sorry, guys. Come on, he's new to me. Doug Kershaw. So I'm going to give him a try. The next is the keyboardist that I remember from Yes, love him. I had this record before, so I probably won't re-listen to it, but I'm going to spin clean it and file it. But Rick Wakeman, love Rick Wakeman. And as I show you, again, this is with Shrink and the price sticker on there. Little hype sticker on here still. The funny thing is, again, I had this, and I'm not sure why I sold it. Maybe it just didn't knock my socks off, but I got it. It looks like a very, very clean copy. So I might as well keep it in my collection until I find out that I want to get rid of it again. Here's another Rick Wakeman, Wives of Henry VIII. I've had this before as well. And as I'm deciding if I'm going to keep it or not, I'm looking at my collection, and it's like, no Rick Wakeman. So clearly, while I love them with Yes, as a soloist, I don't know. But for now, I'm going to keep it, right? There's nothing motivating me to sell it at this point. The next, I think you guys know, I like compilation records. I make mixtapes still. Yes, John the Comic Guy likes making mixtapes. And I think one of the better companies that made these mix albums was K-Tel. So I don't know if you saw my other video, but if you saw my other video, I had a couple of compilation records on there. One was a disco record where Toto Hold the Line was on there. It just so happens those were not the original artists who played them, so I out and Z for those. But K-Tel always gets the original artists, even though they might truncate the song a little bit. So they fit. This is only 14 songs on this album, which is actually unique because sometimes they get like 20 songs on their albums. They might be a 3-minute song and they truncate, they take a bridge out, or they shorten it by a couple of seconds. But 14 songs is not chump change either, right? If we're talking a regular playing record is approximately 5 songs per side, they're squeezing a little bit extra on this. But looking forward to hearing this K-Tel record. It always, for me, reminds me of a mixtape on vinyl. I love it. So I like K-Tel stuff a lot. This next one is new to me, brand new to me, and I think I like the whole idea because I love percussions, right? Drums resonate with me in a primal way. And this one is Drums for God. So will I ultimately keep this? I don't know. but I'm certainly going to give it a listen. So drums, if the percussion and the drums in this are really cool, Drums for God might be something I keep, but I want to hear it. I love drums. Crystal likes drums too. I think one of her ex-boyfriends was a drummer. Another one. Soul drums from Sandy Nelson. So again, brand new to me, never heard of this, but I want to hear, again, percussion is just really cool. And when I hear great drumming, right? When I hear Neil Peart, when I hear Tool playing, and the drumming on that just gives me goosebumps. So I know this is going to be certainly very, very different, but I want to hear it. The next one, I would say is an upgrade, and initially I thought it was an upgrade, but it's not. I must have sold the old copy when I'm selling, but when I get into the selling groove. But Blood, Sweat, and Tears, their first record, I really like these guys. The jazz fusion rock is awesome. They just like Chicago, right? I didn't get any Chicago records, but I dig Chicago, and again, that jazz fusion with the horns, it's great. And this one has Spinning Wheel. This has You Make Me So Very Happy. Great stuff. So I know I have, and I probably sold the record because I have the greatest hits of them. But this is, and look at this. This is a sweet copy. This is this is like a fine, very fine type of cover, and the vinyl was just as good. The next record I never had before. I don't know if this is from a DJ because they wrote quick on there, so I don't know if they're trying to increase the beats per minute. But the song on here is Steal Away, right? You guys have heard the song. If you can't recognize the title, the music you would recognize. So I knew it very well. I looked at Robbie Dupree, and and you saw in the video, I quickly looked and I knew Steal Away was in there. So I'm keeping this. I didn't have it, and I suspect this is probably a DJ copy. He wrote quick because he's probably speeding up the beats per minute to kind of tie it in with another song. But I'm gonna listen to this with Krista. The next one's brand new to me. I might actually stream it first, just simply because it's sealed. So this is Rick Wakeman, 1984. Rick Wakeman, 1984, sealed in shrink. When you see that, you gotta love it. So I'm not familiar with this record, but I'm going to check it out. I might stream it and see if it's even worth it. If not, I might sell it. Selling it in shrink probably won't hurt the price, right? As you guys could probably understand. 1984 from Rick Wakeman. The next one, I have never bought their record. I would typically never buy their record, even though the song is kind of catchy. Kevin Rowland and Dexys Midnight Runners, right? The big song here is the one that I think everybody named Eileen is rolling their eye, because the song is Come On Eileen. So, Come On Eileen. The song is okay. I never loved it, but I'm going to give it a shot. For some reason, I think on somewhere I read that the album was really pretty good. I could be having a senior moment now, and that's not the truth. But I'm going to check it out, and this is in very good condition. I mean, you could probably see it. There's really no dings on the cover, no bends, no color loss. So I'm going to give that a shot. The next one probably is a little bit surprising to you guys because it's not typically the music. It's certainly not metal, but Kool and the Gang. This song has Joanna, right? Everybody, if you don't recognize the title, which I'm sure 99% of you do, you know the song is great. I remember hearing that in the 80s and liking it. I never bought the record. Probably never would have bought the record, right? But now that I got it in this collection, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to give it a listen to a little bit. And if Joanne is the only song that's worth listening to this and it bores me to death, maybe it'll go into my 3 for $10 bin of records. The next two, I really am excited about. Miles Davis, Porgy and Bess. I do like jazz, right? I love rock, classic rock, metal, pop. I really like Miles Davis as well. So jazz is something that I'm going to enjoy, and I'm going to listen to this one as well as hearing My Funny Valentine from Miles Davis in concert. So when I uncovered 2 Miles Davis records in here, I'm pretty excited. So I know Krista and I are going to enjoy this. Miles Davis. 2 albums left. The next is brand new to me. I ended up selling off all of his records, right? I'm not a massive fan, even though his current guitarist Nita Strauss, I like a lot. But Alice Cooper's greatest hits, I'm going to give this a shot. It's in shrink, it's opened, but it's in shrink. I think it's worth listening to. And again, I'm really not a massive fan of his stuff. I like it, but I don't love it. But hey, if this is his greatest hits, why not keep it? I tend to keep greatest hits compilations anyway, so I might as well check this out and see what it sounds like. I know Nita is not playing on this. I suspect she's not. I'm sure this is an older album, but I'm a big Nita Strauss fan as well. Are you? Great guitars. The last but not least is actually an upgrade, and I'm keeping both of them. If you saw my earlier videos, right, if you're watching this, you're like, I'm sure you know what this is, but I'm keeping this, and I am delighted. Black Sabbath Paranoid. Yeah, in shrink. It's opened. Album is in great condition. The only thing interesting about this is, I'm sure you know, this is an RCA Music copy. So this was one of those record club copies. But, you know, I have a regular issued copy. I now have an RCA copy, and this one is in sweet condition. So, like comic books, I keep multiple copies. And in this particular case, I'm keeping both copies. I'll keep one in my room. I'll keep one in my basement. And regardless of where I listen to it, I got Black Sabbath. So, and I think you also know, I lean towards Dio, but hey, you can't go wrong with Ozzy either. But while I like Dio, I'm happy with this album. So I am keeping this. And this was really, I say, for me, the keeper worth noting most in this collection. I am thrilled. I am delighted. And I actually am very appreciative of you joining me. So guys, if you're a comic fan and you're stuck with me, thank you so much. I hope you see some parallels between comic and records and the grading. If you're a record person and you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. I say I buy a lot of record collections. I buy a lot of comic collections. If you are in the New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania area, I have a ton of records in my garage. I have a ton of comics in my garage. So either one, if you're local, come on over, or if you want to come by Black Friday. So again, mark the calendar. November 29th, Black Friday of 2024. Please feel free between 9 o'clock and 2 o'clock. I'm having a Black Friday sale. You are welcome to come over if you're local. You need to RSVP. If you have bought from me before, RSVP for the heck of it, just so I have a rough number of people in my mind. If you have never connected with me before, subscribe, RSVP here. You can follow me on Instagram, but RSVP with me, and then I'll send you my address, and then at least I'll have an idea. And I probably should always remind everybody, I am the corner house. Once you make that turn, once you get my address after you RSVP, once you make that turn, park on the street as soon as you can. If you go down a little bit far, a couple of houses, no big deal. Just park on the street. What I'm asking you not to do, what I'm begging you to do not pull in a neighbor's driveway to turn around. Just keep on going and then come around the neighborhood, and then once you make that turn, park on the street. That's what I'm asking you to do. And you're going to see us. We're going to have 4 vendors here. You're going to have me, you're going to have John's Comics, you're going to have Patriot Comics, and you're going to have Comic Catacombs all here. Hopefully the weather's going to hold out. Otherwise, they're going to have to pull up some pop tents. But I hope to see you. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you. If you like the content, hit subscribe. And I will talk to you all soon.